The cabin buzzed with quiet anticipation, a gentle hum of engines and whispered conversations blending into a soft background symphony. Around me, 100 lives in transit, each with their own story, their own destination, and their own secret hopes for the journey ahead. I moved down the aisle, offering drinks and calm, my flight attendant routine as familiar as breathing, every gesture practiced, every smile genuine but measured. Finn, a young Australian backpacker, chatted about his mountain adventures, his eyes sparkling with excitement as he described the wild places he'd seen. Meanwhile, Maeve, an Irish grandmother with a warm smile, shared biscuits with Arthur, a London businessman, their laughter mingling in the air as they swapped stories and snacks. We were strangers, yet bound together by the thin skin of the aircraft, sharing this fleeting moment suspended between earth and sky. The world below was distant, serene, a patchwork of green and brown, fields and forests blurring into a tranquil tapestry far removed from our airborne bubble. The captain's voice had promised a smooth ride. The passengers relaxed, lost in books, movies, or silent thoughts, each person finding comfort in their own way. My job: observe, anticipate, maintain order. I watched for the small signs: a raised hand, a nervous glance, a child's restless fidgeting. Small gestures, shared snacks, a comforting word, hinted at connection in our temporary home, brief moments of kindness bridging the gap between strangers. Everything was as it should be. The illusion of control was complete, and for a moment, peace reigned in the sky. None of us knew how quickly that would shatter, or how the sky full of strangers would soon become something else entirely. It started with a jolt, a violent shudder that snapped everyone to attention. Coffee cups rattled, overhead bins burst open, and fear swept the cabin. The plane lurched, lights flickered out, and the blue sky spun wildly outside. Maeve whispered a prayer. Arthur's composure vanished. The captain's urgent command: "Cabin crew to your stations!" I shouted, "Stay in your seats! Fasten seatbelts! Heads down!" Panic erupted, cries, screams, desperate calls for loved ones. Through the open cockpit door, I glimpsed the pilots battling a machine gone rogue. "Mayday! Mayday! Mayday!" The captain's voice pleaded into the void. The ground rushed up. Procedure was over. Only survival mattered. Gravity had taken control. "Brace! Brace! Heads down!" I screamed, voice hoarse as chaos reigned. Instinct and training took over. I demonstrated the position. Passengers followed. Finn helped a terrified teen. Maeve reached for Arthur's hand. In those seconds, we were no longer strangers, just humans united by fear and hope. The world outside blurred. The roar of wind and metal was deafening. Impact came, a cataclysmic shock, metal tearing, bodies thrown. The plane shattered, then stopped. Silence, thick, absolute, settled over the wreckage. A groan, a cough, the hiss of fire. We were on the ground. The crash was over. Survival had just begun. Darkness and confusion pressed in from every side, the forest alive with strange sounds and the sharp scent of burning metal. For a moment it felt as if the world had ended, leaving us stranded in a void. "Is anyone okay?" Arthur called out, his voice trembling but determined, breaking the suffocating silence. Slowly, voices answered, groans, affirmations, the sound of people finding each other in the dark. We were alive, battered but breathing. I stumbled through the twisted wreckage, flashlight in hand, my heart pounding. Through the chaos, I found Finn already helping others despite his own injuries, his courage shining in the gloom. Maeve moved quietly among us, calming the frightened, bandaging wounds, her steady hands and gentle words a quiet anchor in the storm of fear. We gathered outside, a battered group of 30, huddled for warmth beneath the shattered stars, sharing what little we had: blankets, water, hope. Arthur organized us, Finn searched for water, Maeve comforted the youngest. Each of us found a role, clinging to purpose as the night dragged on. The night was long, stories whispered, hands held tight, hope kindled in the darkness. We drew strength from each other, refusing to let despair win. We watched the wreckage burn, mourning the lost, the flames lighting our faces with grief and determination. Dawn finally crept over the horizon, revealing devastation and resilience in every survivor's face. The forest was silent, but we were not defeated. We had survived the crash and the endless night, emerging together into the uncertain light of a new day. Then,
The distant thump of helicopter blades, a promise of rescue, hope soaring above the treetops. We had survived for a reason, and as the sun rose, we understood that our story was only just beginning.
Rescue felt miraculous, a return to the world we thought lost. The moment we were pulled from the wreckage, it was as if we'd been given a second chance, a new beginning forged in the flames of disaster. Relief washed over us, but so did a deep sense of responsibility to remember what we'd endured. The ordeal taught us lessons no manual could. Safety briefings matter. Those few minutes of attention can mean the difference between chaos and survival. We realized that every instruction, every demonstration was there for a reason, and in that moment, we were grateful for every word. The brace position saves lives. It's not just a routine, it's a shield, a lifeline in the face of disaster, and it gave us a fighting chance when everything else seemed lost. Calm and teamwork were our lifelines. Panic was the real enemy. Arthur's leadership, Finn's skills, Maeve's compassion, and the way we all pulled together made the impossible possible. In those moments, we discovered strengths we never knew we had. My training fused us into a team, but it was our shared determination and trust that truly united us. We became more than survivors. We became a family, bound by adversity. In crisis, we survived as a community, not as individuals. Each act of kindness, every helping hand reminded us that together we could overcome even the greatest challenges. The will to live, to see another sunrise, is a force beyond measure. It pushed us forward, even when hope seemed distant, and gave us the strength to keep moving. We survived by procedure, teamwork, and luck, but mostly by refusing to give up. Every obstacle was met with determination, and every setback only made us more resolute. We carry the memory of those lost, and in their honor, we choose to live. Their stories are woven into ours, inspiring us to cherish every moment and never take life for granted. Life is fragile, but hope endures, even in the darkest sky. From the ashes, we found the courage to hope again, and that hope will guide us forward, no matter what comes next.